All right, Shalom. I'm going to start by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to all the Akim out there doing this work in truth and in sincerity and with all diligence. Shalom to you, brothers. This lesson is I just want to get into the fact that this gospel is spiritual. This good news, that's what gospel means. This is good news. And some men have been preordained, predestined to get this knowledge and to understand it and to be partakers of this word. Like I said, Yahweh chose those men in the beginning before he created the worlds. And right now we just living out the movie that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua has created or planned. Everything must go according to his will. And right now, man, through the Spirit, I am doing the Father's will. Our job is to push out this word. That's our only job. Push this word diligently. It's not that hard, man. This is Romans 8:1. There is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Hamashiach Yahushua, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. Now, when gotta break it down for you so you won't get simple. We walk after the Spirit. We do lessons. We do it because of the Spirit. Because a carnal mind was lucky. I'm not gonna get into that part. I don't want to spoil the lesson. But we are walking after the Spirit. If we was walking after the flesh, then we would be doing what these wicked scribes and Pharisees are doing. But we are walking after the Spirit. Really, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua guides us because of his Spirit. And that's why we don't walk after the flesh. We walk after the Spirit because we are spiritual people. I mean, that's just a well-known fact. And if we return to our spirituality, then our people will be much better. But now our people got guns and they just walking after the flesh. I mean, after the flesh, you gonna see a gun, you gonna want it because that's a so-called sign of power when you have a gun. But when you walk after the Spirit, you don't need no gun. Because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua has spiritual powers. He has power. He can give you spiritual powers. Now that is real power. And to be spiritually minded is stronger than being carnal minded. And that's a well-known fact too, because look at Esau. He's a carnal man. He wants tangible evidence for everything. And our people are just like this damn devil. They want tangible as evidence that we are the children of Israel. They want us to show. They want to show us the record. They want us to show them the records that we are the children of Israel. But it's not. It don't work like that. We don't have the records. Those records were destroyed. Remember, Psalm 83. They tried to destroy us, man. So we can't pull no damn tangible evidence. We need the Spirit. Like the scripture says, the Spirit bears witness. This is Romans 8. Well, Salaki, it's in the same chapter. Romans 8:16. The Spirit itself bear witness that with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. 1 John 5:6. This is he that came by water and blood, even Yahweh Shah Mashiach, not by water only, but by water and blood. And it is the Spirit that bear witness, because the Spirit of truth. Nah, Salakia, that's not exactly what I wanted. Romans 8:16 is the one I was looking for, which is in the same chapter that I'm reading. So, verse 2. For the law of the Spirit of life in Yahweh Shah HaMashiach hath made me free from the law of sin and death. And the law of sin and death is when you go off, when you sin, that's death, man. When you go against the commandments and the laws and statutes and commandments, that's death. So Yahushua freed us from that. This is verse 3. For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh. The Most High sent his own Son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin, condemned sin in the flesh. This is what Yahushua did. Verse 4, that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. Because if you walk after the flesh, then you're going to end up doing you're going to end up committing a sin. You're going to end up sinning, man. Because we was given the law, but we're not perfect yet. We ain't perfected yet. We must wait till Yahushua come and deliver his elect. Then the Yahweh Ratazah be a part of that number. Then we will be perfected. Because Yahushua got rid of sin. So if we don't go off no more, then we're gonna live forever. Verse 5, for they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh. That's right. But they that are after the Spirit, the things of the Spirit. So if we walking after the flesh, we're going to worry about what our flesh needs. We're going to be smoking, drinking, taking all kinds of drugs. What else? Some other things. Going to the club. Always lusting at the women and just got a women chasing demon. You're going to be worrying about earthly, fleshly things like clothes and shit like that. Dumb, just stupid shit. And we don't need that mind anymore. That mind right there is death. Verse 6, for to be carnally minded is death. That's the Spirit, man. I just said that. I didn't even know that was coming up. That's the Spirit, man. Call Allah Yahba Shemel Shah. But to be carnal minded, Miss Salakia, let me reread that. Romans 8:6, for to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Verse 7, because the carnal mind is enmity against the Most High, for it is not subject to the law of the Most High, neither indeed can be. So the reason why these niggas going off and they don't want to hear the fucking law because they carnally minded. And the law is spiritual, man. It's not carnal. It's spiritual. Verse 8. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please the Most High. But ye are not in the flesh. We, the men of Yahweh Shem Shah, are not in the flesh, but in the Spirit. If so be that the Spirit of the Most High dwell in you. Now, if any man have not the Spirit of Mashiach, he is none of his. So, Yahweh Shai has to sup with us, Verse 10, and if Hamashiach be in you, the body is dead because of sin, but the Spirit is life because of righteousness. So, sin is death, righteousness is life. It's lucky I didn't mean to go do that. Wait, okay. Verse 11, but the Spirit of him that raised up Yahweh Shai from the dead dwell in you. But if the Spirit of him that raised up Yahweh Shai from the dead dwell in you, he that raises up Yahweh Shai Mashiach from the dead shall also quicken your mortal bodies by his Spirit that dwelleth in you. So, Yahweh Shem Shai's Spirit is needed, man. Verse 12, therefore, brethren, we are debtors not to the flesh, to live after the flesh. For if we live after the flesh, ye shall die. But if ye through the Spirit do mortify the deeds of the body, ye shall live. So if you change your deeds and change the way you do, like stop eating pork and all these stuff, a carnal mind, they want to eat all the pork they want to eat all that. That's the way to death. But you change how you doing, you change how you act, you change your diet, you change what you eat, you continue and you put on that spiritual mind, you let Yahweh Shem Shah guide you to follow those laws that you can follow, through the Spirit. But verse 14, for as many as are led by the Spirit of the Most High, they are the sons of the Most High. So we are the sons of Yahweh. For Ye have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear, but ye have received the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, Abba, Father. Verse 16, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. That's right. And if children, then heirs, heirs of the Most High, and joint heirs with Hamashiach and Hawashah. If so be that we suffer with him, that we may be glorified together. Verse 18, for I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. For the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of the Most High. So we waiting on Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, to manifest his presence and to manifest his power and to manifest his men. We waiting on Yahweh Bashem Yahushua ultimately. Verse 20, for the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who had subjected the same in hope. So verse 21, and that creature is us, man. We was made subject to vanity, bullshit. Verse 21, because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of the Most High. For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together unto now. And not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit, even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, to wit, the redemption of our body. So our body is gonna be transformed. This is a great chapter. Verse 24, for we are saved by hope. But hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, why doth he hope for it? So if we hope for salvation, if we see it, then what is hope? Verse 25, and hope links back to faith. But if we hope for what we see not, then do we with patience wait for it. So that, man, Paul is saying it perfectly, man. I don't even got to break half of this down because the Apostle Paul is breaking it down for you, man. Likewise, the Spirit also helpeth our infirmities, for we know not what we should pray for as we ought, but the Spirit itself maketh intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered. Verse 27, and he that searches the hearts knoweth what is the mind of the Spirit, because he maketh intercession for us, for the saints according to the will of the Most High. And we know that all things together for good to them that love the Most High, to them which are called according to his purpose. Verse 29, for whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed into the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. So that right there goes into predestination. And I just was talking about that through the Spirit. This is the chapter that I had in mind. This the Spirit had me go over this chapter because it been everything that I've wanted to cover. It was in this chapter. So that's the Spirit, man. That's verse 30. Moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called, and whom he called, them he also justified, and whom he justified, them he also glorified. What shall we then say to these things? If the Most High be for us, who can be against us? That's right, nobody. He that spared not his own Son, but delivered him up for us all, how shall we not with him also freely give us all things? Who shall lay anything to the charge of the Most High's elect? It is Yahweh that justifieth. Who is he that condemneth? It is Hamashiach that died, yea, rather, that is risen again, who is even at the right hand of the Most High, whom also maketh intercession for us. Yahweh shall maketh intercession for us. Who shall separate us from the love of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or peril or